Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. On the last video we spoke about worship. We started and we said that worship is bowing down. Now bowing down implies a lot of things. And the first mistake we do when we bow down is we carry on like we are nothing. We carry on like, I'm just a worm, I'm not important, why does God choose me? We make ourselves nothing. And let me tell you, the truth is you are not nothing. Jesus didn't die for nothing. Jesus didn't die so you can be a little worm and a squiggly thing, flying your kite under the carpet. Jesus died for you and me to be true sons and daughters of God. Jesus died and paid the ultimate price to restore us in a relationship that the Father clearly values. God so loved the world that he gave Jesus. These are just some of the scripture verses coming to mind. We are not nothing. When you bow down, you need to bow down not just physically and admit that you are nothing. You see, when a beggar bows to a king, it's obviously who's the greater one. And it's easy for us to say that we are nothing when we compare the one we are bowing towards, because God is so epically amazing. The trick is here that when one king bows to another king, the king that is receiving the bowing, he gets honored and glorified in a way that means something, especially if this happens in public. If one king bows to another king, wow, there's glory. There's something else happening. And that's what I want to talk about with worship today. And this is why Jesus chose this word proskuneo when he said the true worshippers will proskuneo the Father in spirit and truth. And what he's meaning in when we are bowing down is we don't come as nothing. And this is my challenge this week for you guys is, what do you have? What do you have that makes you special? What do you have that is significant? You see, it's difficult for us, especially being Christians. If you have a gift and if you are skilled in something, it's very difficult to acknowledge it. And in some ways, especially, it's difficult if your gift and your ability is above average. If it's extraordinary, wow. People like to think that we've got big heads, but that's not the case. The thing is, the more awesome you are, the more glory God gets when you bow down to him. And this is what I want to throw at you. Stop being wishy-washy Christians that means nothing. Let's stop being those people. We are the sons of God. We are set on this earth to rule and reign. And when we rule and reign and walk in power and walk in might, and we come in a worship service in an atmosphere and we bow ourselves down to God, how much more glorious won't it be? How much more glory and honor are we not giving him? So now I'm challenging you pastors, you men of God who walk in front, you leaders who say that we all know you are called, we all know you are gifted. But I'm challenging you to bow yourself down in public to God. I'm challenging you to get out of your comfort zone and stop standing there, but throw yourself at God like you adore him, like a dog. Come to him like a dog licking the master's hand. You know what? For the dog, that is an honor. The dog doesn't care what other people think of him, thinking, oh, geez, he's supposed to be important. This is a big, special pedigree, dog with a pedigree and certificates. He's just licking his master's hand. Nobody cares. They care about who the master is. And I think that's where our heart should be. And that's my challenge for you. Present to God the thing that makes you awesome. If you've got extraordinary abilities, hey, If you can play guitar really well, go join your church band. Stop standing in the audience and judging them. You know, if you've got a gift, I don't know, guys, let's present our worship to God. Let's bow towards Him. Because when we are awesome, our sacrifice is so much more amazing, so much more pleasing. And I think when the world can see true men and women of God bowing themselves to God like that, true men and women, regardless of their status and stature in culture and in society, when the world can see us loving God so extravagantly, we might change their minds about who God is. Because the only way they can see Him is through us. The only way they can see Him is through the way we respond to Him, through our obedience and our worship. This is Louis and Jamie with Release Your Sound. Have an awesome week.